Okay, welcome along to today's session on Prepare for the Fair, How to Create an Impressive Handshake Profile. My name is Eilis Spence. I work within the Employability and Careers Department at Ulster University as an Employability Advisor. And today's session is really going to look at, we're going to touch on how to register for the fair, what's going to be happening across future skills, future jobs and opportunities week, and then we're really going to take a focus on what makes an effective handshake profile in order to get you ready for the fair. Okay, so I'm just going to skip over that. So future jobs and opportunities week is taking place between the 11th and the 14th of October. And there's lots and lots of things happening across the week. This includes our graduate virtual fair, which is taking place on Tuesday, the 12th of October from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that's for final years and graduates, and that's across all disciplines. So no matter what you're studying, we have lots and lots of employers coming there. We have, I think, over 120 employers coming on that day. Then on Wednesday, the 13th of October, running the placement, internship and virtual fairs. Placement and internship virtual fairs. This particular day will be concentrating on employers who will be offering roles for computing and engineering and construction. So those particular areas. So if you're studying one of those and you're in your second year or first year, you can come along and see what opportunities are available on that day. And then on Thursday, the 14th of October, we have our placement and internship virtual fair. So for first and second years, and that's across all disciplines. So we have lots and lots of different employers are coming across those 3 days. I'm going to tell you very briefly, I'm going to show you a quick video which shows how to register and everything for those in particular. But we also have our skills boosting program, which is taking place across the 4 days as well too, with the most of the different program sessions happening on Monday the 11th throughout the day, and then Tuesday AM as well too. But there are some sessions happening on Wednesday and Thursday as well too. So I'll talk a bit about that in a moment's time and what's involved with that. But you can go to ulster.ac.uk/opportunities week and you will see the whole list of all the programs within there. Okay. But yeah, the big things will be the fairs happening across those days. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this really quick video. This is really just a recap. We have our video on our YouTube channel for anybody for the webinar that took place earlier on, which was about registering for the fair and booking sessions. This is really, I suppose, this video was just 2 minutes long. It's a short recap of that, and it's really just for if you're watching this standalone, just to make sure you know how to register for the fair and book onto sessions. So bear with me just to change over the screen here.
Google Digital Garage offers over 60 free online courses and regular live webinars.
Sorry, that came up first. Okay, there we go now. Okay, so that was just a really quick overview. That was our colleague and fellow student, Rachel, who did that video for us. Really just as a kind of show you step by step what you need to do. Like I said earlier, we did a session yesterday, which was all about took you through in a little bit more detail registering for the fair through Handshake, and also booking sessions and kind of tips in relation to that. So if you're interested in kind of seeing a bit more step by step, if you wanted a bit more detailed than that, then it's on our YouTube channel, and our YouTube channel is Careers at Ulster, so AT Careers AT Ulster. Okay, so you'll be able to find it on there, which will, you know, it's a bit more detailed, like I said. Also, that video, you know, obviously she's put the graphic onto like a phone, so there is an app for Handshake. Okay, so it's Join Handshake is the app, I believe. You can find it on, you know, any app store, but you can also do it on your desktop as well too. So the webinar shows you more from a desktop perspective as well too. But you know, if you guys are here today, hopefully maybe you've done that, maybe you've already started booking sessions. We're really going to be looking at the Handshake profile this session today. But just really quickly, this is the homepage for Future Jobs and Opportunities Week. So just what I was talking about there. So you can look and find out all about everything that's happening across the whole week on this page. You can see there's our partners, I suppose, our employer partners that are sponsoring the event as well too. But here we have the skills boosting program. We also have the virtual graduate fair, the placement and internship fairs, and the links which will take you straight into Handshake for registering for those as well too. So lots of information on there, some other videos and some tips as well too. So you can check out that web page. But yeah, I'll just click on the skills boosting program, sorry, really quickly, and tell you about that. This is basically a suite of sessions that we have running alongside throughout the week as well too, which are all about things relating to employability and are going to help you for the kind of prepare for the fair, prepare for applications and all the things that go with it. So you can see here, I'll not go through every single one of these, don't worry, but like I said at the beginning, Monday the 11th has probably the most sessions, and there's loads and loads of things here. So for example, ultimate CV makeover. If you maybe know your CV maybe needs a little bit of attention, or you want to kind of get it really up to a good standard, then I would really encourage you to go to that session. Things like digital career readiness, develop your communication and confidence for the world of work. You know, it's a big transition moving into employment, whether it's an internship placement or graduate employment. So you know, one of the skills employers continually ask for regardless of sector is your communication skills and confidence as well too. So definitely some great tips to be seen there. Our Careers Cafe, this is a new initiative that we're starting to run. Our Careers Cafe is where we'll have some students coming back and kind of talking to you in a bit more informal chance for you to kind of engage with them and find out about their experiences. So we have on there, which happened on Monday, which is the student placement one. Later on in the week, there's a graduate one as well too. So we have somebody who's out in placement and come back and tell us about their experience. Somebody who has graduated, you know, people who are in your footsteps maybe in the past couple of years as well too. So they understand kind of maybe what you're going through and hopefully be able to answer your questions and tell you a bit about their experiences. So loads of stuff there. You can go and have a look yourself as well too. Things like making LinkedIn work for you, supercharge your interview skills. You know, maybe you're not at the interview stage yet, but you want to start preparing for that. So loads and loads of things. And then it goes right through to Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday as well too. So if you want to go to any of those, you can just click on that web page, click on the individual one, and it'll take you to the booking link where you can find the link for the event at the time on the day. So spread right across. So definitely check those out, okay? Okay, I'll just stop sharing that one and get our slides back up. Right, so that was just the skills boosting program as well too. Okay, so really I'm just going to concentrate on your Handshake profile now. So Handshake is the platform that the fairs themselves are going to be run through. Okay, so again, yesterday's webinar kind of told you a bit about, you know, how that's going to work, and with your different sessions, you have either one-to-ones with your employer, or you will have group sessions where there'll be lots of people, and it'll be a bit like this webinar here, where you'll be able to interact through the chat box and things like that. Okay, and there'll be like a presentation or somebody talking within those. But before we even think about that and think about scheduling and think about applying for jobs, one of the things that's really, really important is making sure that your Handshake profile is up to date, okay? So Handshake is our platform where which we advertise your vacancies. We're going to be running through the fairs, but it's also a lot more than that. It has a suite of different things that you can use within Handshake. And we really want you to be able to utilize that platform throughout the duration of your time at university and beyond, okay? So one of the things as part of this is that every person who has Handshake can create their own profile, okay? And I would probably just be really, the purpose of me doing this session today and the purpose of us kind of reiterating how important that is because it is vitally important, because this, with Handshake, it's not just where employers go on and they advertise their vacancies. It's a lot more interactive than that, in that you can have a profile, the employers themselves have profiles, and we're kind of Handshake, I suppose, is the middleman, where employers can interact directly with you then. So your profile is really an insight into you, and it's possibly going to be the first thing that an employer will see and will set the impression for you in any future applications that you have. So that's why it's so important. With the fair itself as well too, in order for you to book one-to-one sessions or group sessions, you have to make your profile visible to employers in the community, okay? And you will be prompted for this whenever you do book your one-to-one sessions if you haven't done that already, okay? And your group sessions, sorry. So make sure that that's why we want to kind of reiterate that employers are going to see your Handshake profile, and that's why we want to make sure that it you understand what is involved with the Handshake profile and how to make it good. Okay, so maybe some of you have already put together your Handshake profile, but if not, that's okay. When you log into Handshake, you'll be prompted to create your profile if it's your first time, and if not, you can still click into your profile and update that. And even if maybe some of you guys, maybe your final year, maybe last year you already had a look at your Handshake profile. Maybe you're ready to do it, but maybe it needs updating. A year has passed, and there might be some things that you can add to that. Really give a makeover. For some people that maybe who are in final year and are just returning from placement, this is maybe your first experience of Handshake as well too. So we want to kind of show you how it differentiates with our previous platforms that we used before. So your profile is in some ways a bit like maybe a LinkedIn profile, a bit like your online CV. And really it's your page dedicated to you, and it is a bit like an online CV. Your profile showcases you, your education, skills, experience, and career aspirations, okay? We want you to build your profile either using your own existing CV. So if you have a CV that you're happy with and is at a good standard, you can use that, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment, or you can manually complete each section. And Handshake, it takes you through, especially the first time you go to your profile, it'll take you through step by step and prompt you to complete each section. And those sections include 7 areas. So it's my journey, education, work and volunteer experience, organizations and extracurriculars, your classes, projects and skills, okay? And you can also upload supporting documents such as CVs and cover letters. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take you into Handshake and just take you through, rather than just reading it off a slide. I think it's always better if you actually can see what you're looking at. So bear with me here just while I switch my screen again. Okay, so here is my home page when I log into Handshake. So you can see, if you're not too sure what the URL is for Handshake, you can see it's up the top here. It's ulster.joinhandshake.co.uk. And again, there's links directly from our website. There's links directly from the Future Jobs and Opportunities Week website as well too, a web page rather. So this is what mine looks like. Okay, now depending on what you study, what year you're in, it might slightly differentiate because it is personalized. Okay, so based on kind of some of my things that I've done over the past, since I've had Handshake, I follow certain employers. I've maybe looked up different jobs, so it recommends things and things I've saved before, things that are popular. It's quite a intuitive kind of program. So lots of different things there. So you can obviously browse that in your own time. I'm not going to concentrate too much on that, but you can see there, obviously it prompts things based on some of my other activity. So, you know, there's a message obviously came through to me that I didn't reply to. So they're prompting me to do that. But you can see here, you know, if you're going to be searching for jobs, events, Q&A, you know, for if you're registering for the fair, it's under events, and then it's just come up for me, but you can filter and you can just click on that. And I've already registered, but that will be blue if you haven't, and you can register there. But like I said, I'm not going to go through that just today. What I'm going to look at is my profile. So from the home page, to find your profile, you can see here I've got my wee photograph. So that if you haven't uploaded a photograph, it won't be on there, but I'm just going to click on that. Lots of different things you can navigate to, but I'm going to click on my profile. Okay. So you can see here already, I've already started some of that. Okay. So I'll be really kind of just going through each section and then maybe updating it or just slightly changing it. So the first thing we have here is this kind of tile at the top. Now, if you want to edit anything, there's a wee pen here. So if I want to edit that, we can do that. So I've got my my name. I can change my photograph, and I would recommend that you put a photograph in. Also bear in mind that your employers will be seeing this photograph, so you might not want one of you falling about the place on a Friday night with a drink in your hand. It doesn't have to be a professional photograph, but just a nice clear photograph of you, which is nice and clear, on your own preferably as well too. So just remember to keep it as professional as you can. It doesn't have to be a professional one. So your name, level of study, just to be aware of this. So level 4 would be first year, level 5 is second year, and level 6 is final year. And then obviously if you're doing a master's, and there's some other specific ones, doctorate and stuff there as well too. So I'll just put this at level 6 for now, okay, and save. So there you go, you can change that to level 6. It's really important that you get that level correct, because again, like I said, some of the jobs will be geared towards, you know, our placements, so they'll be geared towards level 5. Some of these will be graduate jobs, so they're geared towards level 6 as well too. So just make sure that that information is correct, okay? So there you go, that's your heading, basically your name, and you see here it takes from what you study. So I'm going, I wonder if I can change that there. So it takes that from your education part, okay? So then next to that we have my journey. So my journey is a bit of a different name to what you might call on your CV, maybe like a personal profile or a career objective, sometimes it's called. But basically it's the first couple of lines on your CV that relate to what you're looking for and your summary of yourself. So it prompts you here with a few questions. So it says things like, what are you passionate about? What are you looking for in Handshake? What are your experience or skills? So it might not be exactly the same as the one you have on your CV, but you know, this is your chance to introduce yourself. Have a nice couple of lines about yourself to introduce what it is you're looking for, what makes you unique, some of your USPs, your unique selling points. This is probably going to be the first thing an employer is going to read. So, you know, you want to set the tone, you want to make yourself sound nice and employable, nice and positive, and really something that just sums you up as well too. So sometimes this can be quite difficult, but you know, think about what it is that you're seeking for. Are you seeking work placement? Are you seeking graduate job? You know, if you're seeking a graduate job, have you already done a placement? Can you tell them a bit about that? Tell them a bit about your experience. What is it that is your real ideal job? Now, something to remember about this is that, you know, with a CV, if you're applying for a specific job, you can really tailor that. So, you know, say if you're studying software, or say if you're studying computing, you might be applying for a job that's software engineering, but you might also be applying for maybe like an IT technician, which are two kind of different jobs. So, you know, when you're applying for something that's a bit, when your profile like this is going to be a bit broader, you just want to keep that in mind, is that you might want to kind of not be too specific. Obviously, we want you to be specific in some ways, but you know, if it's maybe not going to be for a specific job, but maybe more general about a specific sector. Okay. Okay, so that's my journey. So, you know, with that, you know, I would be saying, you know, a short paragraph about yourself, nice and excuse me, succinct, but also detailed enough as well too. You want to show the employer that you've put some thought into it and you haven't just done it for the sake of it. Then we have our education. So just like your CV, we would have our education one. Again, I'll just show you here. So we've got our institution name. So this is locked. So that this is for also university students. So I can take this course out. So we've got undergraduate level. If you're postgraduate, you know, you can put that in. You can change it to postgraduate level. I'll keep it undergraduate for now. Let's just say I'm studying computer science. Okay, so if I started last year, I would be in second year now. June 2023. Okay, so just work out that whatever that would be for yourself. Computer engineering, let's just say I do that. Okay, so it has all the courses pre-loaded on there. So if you find whatever your courses and you put it in. If you do have a minor subject, so say you do computing with marketing or something, I think you can put that in there as well too. But it should have every course at Ulster in there, so you probably won't need to fill out that minor part as well too. And then once you've done that, you can just save. Now, unlike your CV, you don't need to go back much further. Sorry, you don't need to go too much back further than your degree, because it doesn't really allow you to do that. I think you can, but it's not necessarily, you know, it's really only universities that they have in here. So, you know, you're not going to have your school in there. So I would tend to say just keep it at your undergraduate. If you're postgraduate or doing a master's, you can put your undergraduate and your master's in there too, or your postdoc or whatever. So yeah, so fairly straightforward, just basically your degree in that one. Then as you scroll down, you see there's some other things here at the side. Now these are only visible to me, and then it tells you what your current status is with your profile, who's visible, the visibility. So mine is currently set to employers can see it, students, alumni across Handshake universities. Okay, you'll be able to message students and alumni who have similar interests or experience. So you can change this anytime in settings. So if you want to change the settings, if your profile is not ready yet, you can go into the settings and change that. You can also click here and see how the employer is going to view it. So there you can see what mine currently looks like. I'm going to go through those other sections, but I just click stop viewing, then I can see what it looks like. And you can see here, like this little blue one comes away, this other box comes away as well too. So, and what this one at the side is just really saying that I've only completed 35% of my profile. So I haven't done my journey, for example. I haven't done that. As we go through some of the rest of it, you'll see that I haven't done other things as well too. So again, it's prompting you really should want to have your profile at 100%. Okay. So as we scroll on down, so the next thing then we have, we'll go from right to left here. So we've got your interests. And again, employers this will be visible to the employers. So you can set this, your kind of filters of what you want to do. So the kinds of jobs that you're looking for. So I've got whether you're currently looking for a job. So not looking for a job, actively looking for a job, not looking for a job, I have one already, not looking for a job but open to opportunities, not looking for a job and go to grad school. I'm going to put mine as not looking for a job, okay, because I'm not. But for you guys, if you're going to a careers fair, you want to put in actively looking for a job. So that means then they can filter through all the people who are currently looking for work. I have in here placements, but again, you can add that on and you can do that. You can do that through the jobs filter, okay? So these are the ones that I had already selected, and again, it'll prompt you with that, and then you can add cities, so you can add locations. I've got there Dublin, Belfast, Derry, and then we've got roles, so you can add in roles if there's certain types of roles that you're looking for, or certain industries. You can leave that, you know, if you're quite open to that, you don't necessarily need to do that, but I'll just click save there. Okay, so you can see it's got that saved and there, and it prompts you again to do that if you want to, but I would tend to say leave that a bit open unless there's something very specific that you're looking for. But definitely put in industries that you're interested in. So you can put in, say if it was accounting, I'm going to put in computer networking, maybe software engineering, net and software. Okay, so you can just type them in and search them, and we'll just click that. And then you can see that that saved them in. Okay. Then below that, we also have my personal information. So that's my own things. Again, this is just you yourself would see that. And you can see the wee locked thing beside it. You can see if you want to make it visible. So if I click here, if I want to make this visible to people, sorry, forget it first. If I wanted to make, for example, employers see that, demographic info, you can do. I'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, so just to go back up, so we know it's kind of side by side here. So then we've got our work and volunteer experience. So this is basically your work experience, okay? But they've also called it volunteer experience. Any work experience, whether it's voluntary or paid, is valuable, okay? So you want to make sure that you include everything. It's really important. You can take this information straight from your CV. I think that's what I did here in this one. So I've got my current job. Then as you go to scroll down, you can see I've put all my duties in. So I'm showing the employer, I've got about bullet points, quite a lot in there. You know, I would tend to say maybe make that, try again to be succinct. I think I just copied that from my CV. Then I have my previous work in there as well too. Now I also have my other previous jobs, but you can see here it's gone from kind of white and then it's gone to like a grey colour. And basically that means that it's visible to me, but it's not visible to the employer. So what I did initially, and you'll be prompted in this, and I'll show you how to do it in a moment, is what I did is I had an existing CV and I uploaded it onto Handshake. And then what I did was I went through and okayed everything. So it tells you whether, if you have an existing CV, that's a quick way to kind of get a lot of the information, particularly if it's going to be similar information, onto your Handshake profile. So I okayed this one and I okayed this one, but I decided no, I'm going to leave this one. So I didn't want to put that in, so maybe it's a bit older. So I left that one out, but I can add that. So you can just, if I click here, I can add that, or I can edit it, or I can just delete it. Okay. Now, if I had additional work experience that I wanted to add in, just the same thing. So I clicked on add job title. So you know there have some other ones there, but you can just type in your own job title. Your employer, you can put whether it's your current position or not. And then you put in your start date and your end date. So exact same as you would do on your CV. You can put in your location and again the description. So what I did for mine is I just used my bullet points and used my other ones, and then I would just click save. Okay, so I'll actually go back up and put this to current because it's not at current. Yeah, edit. Okay, so I just clicked on the wee symbol beside it to edit it, and then I changed that to current position, and then I save. So now if I wanted to delete that, so there we go, it's updated that now. Okay, so that's the work of volunteer experience. There we go, you can see the wee symbols come up there as well too. Okay, and then next one then we have, so on the right hand side now we've got discover more students. So I had that as an MA engineering is what I was before, so it's discovered students similar to me. So there it is a network as well too, so you can network with other students. I'm not going to do that, but just suggest some based on that. And again, if you're not comfortable with that, you know you can take off the community side of it once you've attended the fair as well too. Now in here I have skills. You can see there's lots of things I've put in here. If I wanted to add to that, again I would just be putting them in, and if I want to delete any of this, just click the X beside it. But you want to pick the core skills that you relate to, maybe the kinds of work that you're going for, or related to your sector. There's going to be lots of common skills that are going to come up and kind of based on your experience as well too. Again, I uploaded my CV, so it picked out a lot of these based on what I had put on my CV. Now I would just say, but a word of caution, if you are doing that, make sure that you review it all, because it can take some of the words and take it out of context and add it into this section. I remember when I first looked at this, there was definitely some things that came up like driving came up, because I was talking, whatever word I used, I was talking about driving. It was actually this job where one of the project I worked on was helping people get driving licenses. So I put in driving here, which I can drive, but I didn't really want to put that in my skills. So just make sure you read over it. But if you wanted to add anything, say for example, I wanted to put in problem solving. Oh, I already have it. Let's see what we can think of. Leadership, maybe. Here we go. So I've just added leadership into there. Don't just put skills in for the sake, but you want to personalize it to you, and you want it to seem authentic as well too. So be kind of, yes, you want to kind of sell yourself, but also be selective as well too. And there's some technical things in there, so I have to things like HTML, Java. If there's things that are specific to your course or specific technical skills that are really relevant, maybe you are doing design or something like that, and you've got experience of Adobe or Photoshop, then you might want to put that in there as well too. Things that are going to really be unique and relevant. I actually don't know how to use Java or HTML, so I'm taking them out. Okay, so then at the bottom here we have documents. So this is manage your documents. So this is where I uploaded my CV. Now the first time you come into your profile, it will prompt you if you want to upload your CV. So you just click here on manage documents, and there you can see. So I've got CVs, got a couple of CVs in there, cover letters, transcripts, other documents. So you can just click add new document and upload those. And it'll prompt you as you do that. Okay, I'll just go back here. Okay, and just before, so we did the work experience one. So just underneath this, we've got organizations and extracurriculars. So what organizations have you been involved with? And you can see you click the drop down arrow again. There's some there which maybe other students have used, so start uploading onto that. If you're part of societies, if you're part of teams, if you do anything that's extracurricular, put it into your Handshake profile. Okay. So say it was Law Society, there we go. We can tell again, it prompts you if you were part of a position within it and when you did it, and then you can add that to that. Let's cancel that for now. So yeah, have a think about some of the things that you do, and if you haven't done anything, think about getting involved with things either at the university or outside of there. There's so much you can do, and remember about the Age Award too. It's all very valuable. So if you have done any age activities, this might be where you want to bring it in. Classes, this is basically your modules. So you want to put in your names of your modules in here. Okay, so again, just click the little pen button or click add a class, and there you can add those in. Okay, and then just save as you do that. And finally, projects. So some of these might have in your CV, you might have specific things maybe in your skills profile that you talk about a bit more. You might talk about specific projects maybe inside your degree. Maybe you're going to talk about your dissertation or something similar. Well, this is your chance on Handshake to bring across that kind of information. So again, it prompts you what are some of the projects you've been part of. Some ideas are publication, photographs, presentations, pitch decks, websites, etc. So maybe you might have an online portfolio where you have some of maybe your work that you created, whether it's maybe websites that you've created, maybe it's coding that you've done, maybe it has been some of your artwork that you've created, maybe you've done some graphic design. Some of these will maybe lend itself more to some subjects rather than others, but there's lots of things, for example, if you study law, maybe you've done a mooting competition or something like that you want to talk about. Lots and lots of different subjects incorporate projects, and think about assignments that you've done, projects that you've done, case studies that you've done. Maybe there's been group projects that you've done across the past couple of years. Think about things that you've done in your degree as a start off, as a first thing. After that, think about things that you've done outside of your degree, all kind of things that are valuable and are showing transferable skills as well too. So definitely think about that. That can really elevate your profile. That's basically all the sections, okay? So I've kind of gone through them bit by bit there. What I will say is, it does prompt you as you're starting to do that. You can see that there's some that I haven't done there. My journey, for example, I also haven't done the organizations and extracurriculars. I haven't really completed the classes one or the projects one. So you can see that that's why mine is only sitting at 35% complete. Okay, so I would be urging you to kind of go through all the sections in that and making sure you have something. Now, you might be saying, do employers really look at it if you still have to apply with a CV? Yes, they do. There's been others, as you can see here, I've obviously set up an account before. Now, I am not a student at Ulster University. I work here. I should probably put in somewhere actually that this is a dummy account, because when there's been other events such as fairs happen in the past, I have had employers messaging me. You can even see there's some messages, there's probably one still sitting there. Employers messaging me, encouraging me to come along to their stand fairs. Now, it hasn't happened for this fair yet, but they do get in contact, and I've seen it firsthand. So they are looking at profiles. So you want to make sure your profile is a good standard. Now, for most jobs, you probably are going to go on and apply through Handshake, maybe not using your profile, but maybe using your CV or something. But you're still setting the tone with your Handshake profile. And it's one of those things, you get out what you put in. You know, the more you put into this, it's really going to kind of set you aside from your competitors for jobs, who are basically your peers as well too. So that's a bit of an overview of that. A couple of just slides before we finish up here. Is there any questions about that? I know I went through it quite quickly there, but as you kind of go through your own profile, hopefully that'll kind of make sense as well too. Okay, so a couple of just basic things to remember. So once you've registered for Handshake, even, you know, not even talking about the fair, they'll complete the required fields and verify your account. So the first thing it'll do if you haven't registered is it will ask you some questions, prompt you at the beginning, you know, asking you what level of study I think it is, asking you what you're interested in. And when you are searching for things like jobs and events, there's lots of filters that you can put on, okay? Once registered, you can start building your profile. Remember, only make your profile visible to employers once you're satisfied it showcases you to the best of your ability. And again, if you are attending one of the fairs, you are going to have to make that visible. So just bear that in mind. You need a wee bit of time to do some work for it now. Get a clear professional style headshot for your profile. So again, it doesn't have to be like actually professionally taken, but remember that it is, you know, employers are going to be looking for it. So make sure it's nice and clear, and we can see you, and it's not like an avatar or something. We want it to be actually a photograph of you. Ensure that you have set your preferences filters for your job search correctly. So again, keep in mind your levels. So level 4 is first year, level 5 is second year, and level 6 is your final year for graduating. So make sure you have that. Think about different filters you have on as well too, because you don't want to be missing out on jobs. I would tend to say keep it open to an extent. Obviously have your sectors, but try not to cut yourself off from opportunities and not even see the opportunities. Again, we have an appointment. You can book your consultations for your careers with an employability advisor through the Career Centre on Handshake. There's a direct link there as well too. Definitely urge you, if you want somebody to look at your profile, we can do that. If you want somebody to look at your applications or CVs, use employability advisors, use those appointments, because we want you to be able to sell yourself as best you can to these employers. And some people are more than capable of doing that themselves, but it's good to kind of get an overview from an employability advisor as well too. There's lots of events on there as well too. So obviously there's so much happening as part of Future Jobs and Opportunities Week, particularly the skills boosting program and the fairs. But we have lots of things happening regularly. You guys obviously know that because you've booked in to today's session. But there's lots and lots of things that you can do regularly, and you can also connect with your peers. So that's really a good place to get started as well too. One of the other things I didn't show you, and I will just show you really quickly, is, you know, when you are going to the fair, you can also follow employers. So I'll just show you that really quickly. Actually, I meant to do that. So once you've kind of got you're happy with your profile and everything, I'm just going to click on here. Sorry, I'm going to click home. That's the home page. I'm going to click on jobs. Okay. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do this, but also if you go to the fair pages, you'll see the list of all the employers, and you can go through that way. But say, for example, I wanted to apply for ATOS. Okay, so they're currently advertising for a digital marketing intern. I want to find out a bit more about them. So you have your profile, but ATOS also have their profile. Okay, so we can see a bit about them. We can see that they, you know, how many employees they have, where they're based. And that's not to say that they don't have offices elsewhere as well too, but there's a bit of about them, so they can tell us a bit about themselves. Contact information, you've got your links to their social media pages, so we can read a bit here about them. But what we also have is we have the current jobs they have listed. Okay, so we can see all that kind of view. Just make sure your mic's turned off there, please. Thank you. Okay, and then we can see also other students who've worked here. Not all of these will be at Ulster University, but if I thought, right, this is a company I really like the sound of, you know, maybe you go and talk to them at the fair, or you see them at another event, you can just click on follow. And that means you're following them, and that means if there's any jobs added, particularly that fit in with your profile or fit in with your preferences, you'll get a notification. Also as well too, if they are attending, say for example they were attending the fair, it would come up here that they would be attending the fair, or it would come up that they were, you know, if they had another event running for ourselves, that it would come up there as well too. So you get notifications of events that they're attending or the events that they're running, and also for jobs. So if there's a company that you know you're really interested in, be worth your while following them. Literally a click of a button, and then it means you won't miss out on any vacancies as well too. So just wanted to show you that really quickly. I'll just stop sharing again. Okay, and just to finish up, again, if there's any questions, just let me know. Okay, so we did that one. Make sure you complete your handshake in full, explore jobs and save ones that you like, see who's hiring and follow employers, making sure that you've registered for the fair, attend preparation for fair webinar. Okay, so we've got this one and we've got the one we were on yesterday. We have another one running tomorrow, which is all kind of about networking and making good impressions and liaising with employers and things like that. Finalize your CV to make sure you meet early closing dates. Research to the employers you'll meet, and you don't need to wait in line. You'll be scheduling your sessions. You need to create your good profile on Handshake. CVs can be made public. Employers can message students to follow them and attend sessions, so they can message you. On the day, we have group meetings, which last, it says 20 minutes, but I think they're about 30 minutes, between 20 and 30 minutes. One-to-one sessions, which last 10 minutes. And there's a wee screen grab here, so you'll see exactly what it looks like on the day. It's a bit like Zoom. So you've got your chat box on the side, and then you also have you and the employer, and it's just like a video chat. Okay. And next steps, activate your Handshake account and start completing your profile if you haven't done it already, or update your profile. Register to attend the virtual fair and attend some of our skills boosting sessions. You can explore the kind of employers' virtual stands, so their pages, their profiles basically, and you can book their slots to start scheduling your day. And then we've got our other prepare for the fair session happening tomorrow. If you need to book with an employability advisor, you can do so using that link below via Handshake. But I'll just leave it at that today and say thanks very much, guys, for attending. Any questions, you can let me know. And good luck with attending the fair.